So I had to start opening this wall to kind of see what I was getting into. So basically, I got a nice perfect 36 opening here, right? So I'm going to have a 36 cabinet below it. I don't know what I'm going to do with depth yet. It might just be like wall cabinets there and then full depth here. We'll see. I got to see how I like the kitchen layout. But anyway, the reason I'd open up more of this is because once I opened it to about here, so it was a nice perfect 48 opening. I have a symmetrical corner here, so I got 16 inches here, and to that line is 16 inches, so that's going to stay. So I'll probably do an outlet and outlet. The duct works there, so I could possibly put it in a cabinet. We'll see. I'm going to mess with that. But anyway, so we got a 4-foot opening, and then I see that they got the header here to carry the load. Well, I need to remove that from my 4-foot opening. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up having to extend this header, or basically I move the header back, I cut it back, and I put it in a spot where it's out of the way to carry the load. So also, once I removed this pocket door, remove the pocket door, you're just going to have an opening here. So you don't want that. You don't want shit going back in there and whatever, right? And after I start cutting holes, you'll never get all the shit out of there. So it's easier just to open up this wall. We're going to remove this, and then this is a 30-inch opening, and that is a 32-inch opening. I'm going to make that a 36 and this a 36 opening. So if I ever have a bigger refrigerator, granted, the designers of this house are idiots because you got like a 32 door back there, which obviously you're not getting anything through. Front door is always 36. So here's your 36, but look at your room here to get anything by. There should always be a straight path of 36 to get shit in. Furniture, appliances, etc. This is stupid. I hate it. I would love to rip this closet out, but then I got these stupid arch ceilings again. And then the way our hardwood floor lays, it's going to mess everything up, so it's not worth it. So yeah, basically here, this doesn't really need to be a 36. I'm thinking over here will be easier because we don't have anything header or anything important over here. So my rough opening right now there is 36, and then we got about 6 inches. We got a 32 opening, so really it might be easier just to blow this completely out right here and remove the rest of that. So we have a nice 36 opening, and then we have the side of a cabinet. So that way you have a nice huge opening to get a refrigerator or appliances and everything else in here. You need to have at least one 36 opening. And then basically to carry the load of this header, what I'm going to do is whatever I pick for my opening, if I decide to go 36, let's say I keep it go up to at least a 32, I'll cut my header to where the load drops right here. And then I'll put another set of jack and king studs here and then over there. And then that'll carry my load here for my rough opening of this pocket. And over here, there's no load, so I don't even need to put a header in. But also, if we end up opening doorways, we're going to mess with our flooring and our hardwood. So what I'm going to do, since the hardwood's kind of in rough shape over here anyway from this leaky window, I'm going to cover this section of the dining room with LVP. So we'll leave this existing. When we rip out the pocket door, we'll put the rough opening the same so that it doesn't mess with any of the hardwood floor, transition to the LVP here. We can leave that. And then in here, when we make this a 36 opening over here, it won't matter because we'll fill it in and we'll just put LVP right in here. So it'll just be a whole section of modern LVP. And we'll try to get it to match where it doesn't really pull the eye. We're not going to have like gray in here. We'll do like a lighter color that kind of matches the hardwood. So boom, that's my idea. Just like that, my dream becomes a reality. Oh, dude, it was so nerve-wracking to not wreck the plaster. I'm sweating bullets. And we got this open. This kind of went cracked up over here. It's all good. I also got to think about my electric layout, though. So I had to remove my one outlet down here so that I could add my jack and king studs set up here for my rough opening. And I'm not dead set on the numbers. Basically, I'm thinking what I'll do here is I'll put a 2x6 with an overhang here so we can put the slab. Or actually, I don't know. How should the granite mount? Maybe a 2x4. And then we'll put trim underneath. That's what we'll do. So if we have a slab of granite here, it'll overhang, and then underneath we'll put decorative trim. Yeah, that'll look money, baby. Sweet. We only got 9 hours in this job, too. So unfortunately, when I went to wedge this one in to make sure it's tight because it's carrying a load, I kind of broke my drywall here. I think I'm going to be able to screw it into that stud, though, and then we'll mud it. I don't know. This is a little weak. wouldn't be terrible just to redo it. We're already this far, but I just didn't want to molest any of that, so that's all good. Yep. So, I mean, I'm pretty positive this was load-bearing, at least holding up, the ceiling. Maybe not necessarily the roof, because it's a hip roof, but there's no cripplers in here. There's no spacer on the header. So I don't know what this was really necessarily holding up. And then also when I took it apart, I noticed, it wasn't squishing anything. And when I cut it with my Sawzall, I didn't feel any tension on anything. So really, it's not holding up much. Our joists go right below, and then they rest on a block wall right about there. So there's definitely load going to it, just nothing crazy. Obviously, it's not 2 stories or nothing. It's a hip roof. But, yeah, I guess I'm just going to cut it back right here. And I'm going to still put it in just because we're here. But maybe it's not needed. Well, this has been the biggest pain in the ass, getting this to take apart all nicely without shit falling apart. So there we go. We're in. So when I removed the rest of this little part of the header over here, which is right there, there was a crippler actually right there. So I took the measurement of that crippler and I put 2 more loose ones up in there. So then when I had my double plate or my, sandwich 2x6 header, I was able to put the tension up on the cripplers so that they stayed. And then I was able to slip this 2x4 in direct. And I actually had a little bit of room over here. So to keep the tension on that crippler so that we don't have any settlement, I had to throw a little wedge 2x4 because I cut this one not exactly at the same height as this one. So I had to wedge it. It's not perfectly level, but at least we have tension on the cripplers so the load will transfer. And then to make this all level and see good to the eye, when I go to do my trim work, I can shim it and make it money. So I don't have a bottom plate for this. I ran out with my cut, so tomorrow I'll have to come here and put my bottom plate and case these out and get it all wrapped up.